In the world of Christian ministries, trust is the cornerstone of leadership. But what happens when that trust is shattered? What happens when the person you've dedicated years of service to suddenly turns their back on you for speaking the truth? This is the story of Denise Boggs, a former trusted advisor at Daystar Ministries, who found herself cast out after raising serious concerns about Joanie Lamb's relationship with Doug Weiss. Denise Boggs was no ordinary figure at Daystar. She was a spiritual confidant, a guiding force, and a voice of wisdom within the ministry. For years, she stood by Joanie Lamb, offering counsel and support during some of the most challenging times. But when Denise dared to question the intentions of Doug Weiss, Joanie's new partner, she was met with silence, hostility, and ultimately, exile. This is not just a story about a falling out between two individuals. It's a story about power, loyalty, and the consequences of prioritizing personal relationships over the well-being of a ministry and a family. It's a story that raises critical questions about leadership, accountability, and the dangers of unchecked influence. Before we dive deeper, if you're new here, welcome to Truth Today. We bring you unfiltered updates on the biggest scandals and controversies shaking the Christian world today. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a breaking story. Now, let's get into the details of why Denise Boggs was cast out and what this means for Daystar and Joanie Lamb's leadership. Denise Boggs was more than just an advisor to Joanie Lamb. She was a cornerstone of Daystar Ministries. Her role extended beyond the typical duties of a counselor. She was a spiritual guide, a confidant, and a stabilizing force within the ministry. Denise's deep faith and commitment to biblical principles made her a respected figure among the leadership and the congregation. When Marcus Lamb, the co-founder of Daystar, passed away, Denise stepped up to support Joanie during her time of grief. She was there to offer spiritual guidance, emotional support, and practical advice. Denise's presence was a source of comfort for Joanie and the Lamb family, and her insights were valued by those who knew her. But everything changed when Doug Weiss entered the picture. Doug Weiss, a psychologist specializing in sex addiction and recovery, quickly became a prominent figure in Joanie Lamb's life. His relationship with Joanie developed at a rapid pace, culminating in their marriage on June 10, 2023. While Joanie viewed this union as a divine blessing, others, including Denise Boggs, saw it as a cause for concern. Denise had serious reservations about Doug Weiss from the very beginning. She didn't trust his intentions and believed that his sudden entry into Joanie's life was too convenient. Denise feared that Doug was preying on Joanie's vulnerability following Marcus's death. She warned Joanie, citing Matthew 7 verse 15, where Jesus warns about false prophets who come in disguise but are actually ravenous wolves. Denise's concerns were not unfounded. She pointed out that Doug had a track record of failed relationships and that his behavior did not align with the biblical qualities of a godly husband or leader. She questioned why he was so eager to step into Marcus Lamb's shoes and whether his motives were genuine. Denise Boggs didn't just voice her concerns privately, she took them directly to Joanie. She believed that she was protecting Joanie and Daystar Ministries from potential harm. But instead of heeding her warnings, Joanie accused Denise of meddling and overstepping her boundaries. Joanie's response was swift and decisive. She severed all ties with Denise, blocking her from the ministry and cutting her off from leadership. This wasn't just a casual disagreement, it was a full-blown exile. Denise, who had been a trusted figure at Daystar for years, suddenly found herself cast aside like she never mattered. Joanie's decision to silence Denise sent shockwaves through the ministry. Many inside Daystar were stunned by the sudden removal of such a respected advisor. But it also exposed a deeper issue: Joanie's increasing isolation from those who truly cared about her and the ministry. The fallout from Joanie's relationship with Doug Weiss wasn't limited to her relationship with Denise Boggs. It also created a deep rift within the Lamb family. Marcus and Joanie's children, Jonathan, Susie, and Rebecca, were deeply uncomfortable with their mother's new relationship. The Lamb children felt that Joanie's relationship with Doug was too soon, too inappropriate, and completely disregarded their father's legacy. They believed that their mother was prioritizing her new relationship over the family's collective healing and the leadership dynamics of Daystar. Jonathan Lamb, who had been named as the rightful leader of Daystar, found himself pushed aside as Doug Weiss's influence over Joni grew stronger. The more the children expressed their discomfort, the more Joni ignored them, creating an even deeper rift within the family. The fallout from Joni's relationship with Doug Weiss wasn't limited to her relationship with Denise Boggs. It also created a deep rift within the Lamb family. Marcus and Joni's children, Jonathan, Susie, and Rebecca, were deeply uncomfortable with their mother's new relationship. The Lamb children felt that Joni's relationship with Doug was too soon, too inappropriate, and completely disregarded their father's legacy. They believed that their mother was prioritizing her new relationship over the family's collective healing and the leadership dynamics of Daystar. Jonathan Lamb, who had been named as the rightful leader of Daystar, found himself pushed aside as Doug Weiss's influence over Joni grew stronger. The more the children expressed their discomfort, the more Joni ignored them, creating an even deeper rift within the family. The internal discord within the Lamb family mirrored the challenges facing Daystar Ministries. Leadership decisions became increasingly intertwined with personal relationships, raising questions about the ministry's direction and priorities. Denise Boggs's departure was a clear message to anyone who questioned Joni's decisions. Dissent would not be tolerated. This culture of silence and exclusion has had a chilling effect on the ministry, stifling open dialogue and accountability. The situation also raises important questions about the influence of personal relationships on organizational decisions. Was Joanie Lamb justified in prioritizing her relationship with Doug Weiss over the counsel of trusted advisors and the concerns of her family? Did this decision serve the best interests of Daystar Ministries and its mission? The story of Denise Boggs and Joanie Lamb is a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked influence and the consequences of prioritizing personal relationships over the well-being of a ministry and a family. It's a story that challenges us to reflect on the importance of trust, accountability, and wise counsel in leadership. As the Christian community continues to grapple with this unfolding saga, one thing is clear. The fallout from Joanie Lamb's decision to remove Denise Boggs will have lasting implications for Daystar Ministries and the Lamb family. We invite you to share your perspectives on Joanie Lamb's decision to remove Denise Boggs from her circle of advisors. Do you believe she was right to place her trust in Doug Weiss over a long-standing confidant and her own family members? Your insights are valuable to us. If you found this analysis informative, please consider liking, subscribing, and turning on notifications to stay updated with more in-depth discussions and breaking news from Truth Today.